Welcome to Curdworth in the Midlands and the training base of John Lambe, who has just won his first ever Category 1 competition with Affane Party. But these kennels are going from strength to strength, and there's a really nice supporting team of open class racers here to follow. So you've just won your first Category 1, and it certainly looks as though you might have had another competition win on the cards with Queen ADELE up at Doncaster, but unfortunately it's not gone to plan.
Ran tremendous for us in the first round, but unfortunately got to the kennels and she looked like she was yielding on the back left leg, so we took her for an x-ray. There's no bone damage, no cracks, nothing too serious, but there's a bit of bruising in the tendon. She's such a good bitch, you couldn't take a chance with her.
We've got to mention her winning the mini derby at Henlow. I mean, my gosh, she took to that track, didn't she?
Yeah, loves the curved boxes. Again, that's why we went to Doncaster, knew she'd love them. And I've never seen a dog that 3 rounds of a competition could broke the track record. 3 races, broke it 3 times, and she looked like she was on a different planet to them. But it's been a little bit hit and miss since. I thought she ran tremendous in the Lowther. Was a bit unlucky in the final, and obviously we went to Doncaster because the prize money's so good. Fair play to the British breeders, £4,000 for 3 runs. And it's just, this is dog racing. You get the highs and the lows, but hopefully it's nothing too serious, and we'll probably, if she comes out of it all right, we'll probably head towards the Henlow Derby with her as well.
She's fantastically well bred. Tully Murray Acton skate on. Is there a future for her breeding here maybe?
Oh, most definitely. The lads who own her, as soon as she breaks down, I think they'll probably breed out of her, which she'd probably be due the back end of the year. I mean, the way this new litter of Rabs are looking out of Eden the Kid, you know, that line looks tremendous, so she's probably worth a fortune.
It's interesting how she came to be in your kennels as well, because Rab actually put her into a charity auction. Do you think he regrets that now?
Oh, well, you'd have to really. I mean, I suppose at the time they didn't realise how good the litter were, but Paul bought her at the auction and she went back to them for them to train, and then later in the year something happened and the lads moved on. But she was probably the best bitch on the litter, I think. Obviously, we all know about Elvis and Turbo, and you know that skate on is just a tremendous brood bitch, isn't she?
You had a recent influx of dogs come in from Hayley Keatley as well, didn't you?
Yeah, in the summer there, the lads Paul Oliver and Steve Pomfrey, they decided they wanted to move on from Hayley's, so they asked me would I take the dogs in. I think partially because Party was doing well, and we're a bit localer. They could come down and see the dogs, be a bit more hands-on. So the dogs came into us, and there were 5 dogs you just couldn't turn down. They were top class, really. One
of those is HUARACHE MADISON. She's just had a season, but you're hoping to bring her back maybe for the St Ledger, of course, at your home track, Perry Barr.
Yeah, the way she broke in season, we ran her in the first round of the Derby, then she came in season. So she's had a good rest. We'll start getting some trials into her now, try and get her prepped up for the Ledger. She's coming 4-year-old. This will be a swan song, and I think she's going back to Pat Guilford for breeding when she's finished. But I think she'll run respectable. If we can get her back to the form she was in when Kevin had her, would be great.
The St Ledger, of course, now worth £6,000 to the winner. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's like everything else. The game's at such a stage. It's hard to get sponsors since the Sky went. It's £6,000, but the prize money for second, third is spaced out a bit. I mean, it's probably deflated it a bit for a classic, but you know, it's just the way the game is at the moment.
You also took in Forest West, who it's a great dog. Don't know, it's the journey with him at the moment, isn't it?
I think since he got the fall in the Gold Cup, it knocked his confidence a bit, and I didn't really think, I had him here and I wasn't happy with the dog. He was very low in himself, you couldn't get him out, there was no wagging his tail. And I said to the lads, I said, listen, this dog's just not right. And Paul sent him back to his mate in Ireland, and Martin Lanny checked the dog over and he said the dog was very badly out in his back. So he manipulated him, and I think it took a couple of journeys to Martin to get him right. But eventually the dog came round right. They kept him in Ireland for the Derby, but it was a bit of a long shot really, because probably 460, 480 would be his distance, and 500 metres in Shelburne was a bit too taxing for him. So he's come back to us, and we'll probably aim him at the Henlow Derby.
We've seen him go up the gallop today. Look pretty quick to the eye to me.
When you put a grader up compared to an open race dog, you can see the difference, and he's definitely on the ball because his speed's still there.
BALLYDOYLE MAURA is also here. She was favourite for last year's Oaks and certainly on everyone's radar, but you've had lots of problems with her. You think you might have finally got to the bottom of?
Yeah, since we've had her in, we've tried. She just never showed the form she had last year, and we thought it was an injury. We had her checked over. George Drake checked her for me. My osteopath up in Wigan, he checked her over, and it was a bit of a hard one. We just couldn't seem to get her to find form, and we were probably on for sending her back to Ireland. I think that the lads was probably going to just send her back and breed out of her. But last throw of the dice, we took her to our local vet, and we had her blood tested just in case to go down that route. And he found that her calcium levels and her haemoglobin levels were very high. So we dropped her on a drip last week. Don't ask me what it is, but it's just something to bring the levels down. And we ran her in an open race at Pettybar, and the sparkles seemed to be there. She finished second in a good open race. If we can get her back to form, I'd like to think we might have a crack at the Brighton Bell with her.
Distant Rain is another one that I know you think an awful lot of. You're going to give him loads of time. He's had a dislocated toe, but he's proven in his form that he could be special.
He's probably only had 3 to 4 races for us, and last year when he ran at Toaster, I think in the second round he ran Born a Gin to a neck, and I thought it was a tremendous run. And going into the next round, I blame myself really. I think I overworked him in the week, tried to push him a bit too much. He went out in the third round, but came back and won an open after that, but unfortunately discalated his toe, and it's just a time thing, just trying to get that toe calloused up, and I think he will come back for us, hopefully anyway.
Gorgeous looking dog. Thinks a lot of you.
Yeah, beautiful dog. I mean, he's the sort of dog you breed out of, but he's got no testicles, so he won't be going to the breeding paddocks.
Obviously everyone's buzzing here with your Category 1 win, and what a fantastic night you had in Yarmouth. Did you enjoy winning the Category 1, and is this what you want? Is this the ambition?
Oh, listen, everybody's in it to win the big races. You know, you dream of them nights. I mean, I had a few sleepless nights before it because you play the race over in your head 10 or 12 times, but eventually it comes right.